As we bring up kind of Brett Favre, I mentioned him since it was 1992. What connections do you see from Brett Favre and how he left, and from Aaron Rodgers and how he left?
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities. I think those are probably out on the surface. There's also quite a few differences. I think the first of which is the relationship that Aaron and Jordan had. Aaron and Jordan had, by all intentions, a really good relationship. Aaron treated Jordan, I think, very well, and they had a fantastic relationship. Just obviously in the locker room and things like that. And it wasn't this relationship that was shattered from the beginning. Favre never really took to Aaron at the beginning, which is crazy to think of now because Brett and Aaron are now very close. But there was always that disconnect between Aaron and Brett at the time. So I think the relationships between the quarterbacks is very different. I think another huge difference is that Brett had some really down years before Green Bay decided to get rid of him. Aaron came off, just recently, actually, 2 of the last 3 years, he was MVP of the league and was, still playing at a very high level over the course of the last 3 seasons as a whole. So I think that's a pretty big difference as well. I would say the biggest difference of all, just being in Green Bay and living in Green Bay during those 2 times, when Brett left, this was a city divided. When Brett was traded, it was a city divided. Yeah. Aaron got death threats at the time. People wanted to run Ted Thompson out of town. People were upset with the Packers. It was literally almost like a fracture. There were people walking around in Brett Favre Jets jerseys, eventually Brett Favre Vikings jerseys. There were fans that just split and said, I'm going to be a Brett Favre fan. Screw the Packers. This time around, I would say the majority were probably ready actually to move on from Aaron. And the majority of the ones that even weren't were at least okay with the decision once they sort of came to terms with it a little bit more. There was no big divorce, and obviously there's going to be some people that weren't happy with the decision and are ultimately maybe going to move and be a Jets fan, or at least for the time being. And I know there's a lot of people that will still cheer on for Aaron as he's a member of the New York Jets, but it is nothing like the city divided that happened when Brett initially was traded.